From the boardrooms of innovation to the heartlands of agriculture to the pulse of tourism and to the numbers that move markets, this is Business Now, your window into the world of enterprise, opportunity and economic insight. Welcome to Business Now. I'm Malcolm Sime. Tonight we are charging into the future of energy with a special conversation with the CEO leading the way in sustainable innovation. Then we explore the magic and momentum behind one of East Africa's biggest travel showcases, the Pearl of Africa Tourism Expo. Through the eyes of its chief organizer, agriculture takes the center stage as we speak to a Ugandan agronomist about the challenges and opportunities in fertilizer use and food security. And then we will wrap up with a market update tracking the latest. But first, let's have a look at today's top business stories. So the Pearl of Africa Tourism Expo 2000 hosted buyers are expected to gather at the Commonwealth Resort and Conference Center. The government-supported or sponsored event is the biggest gathering after Nyege Nyege, says the organizer, Peter Mwanja.
Pearl of Africa Tourism Expo. We're now in our 9th edition. So last year certainly was the 8th edition. It was a success, and we're building on to last year's success. So this year we have actually tripled the number of exhibitors that are coming. We've doubled the number of hosted buyers. And as you can see, there's a big vibe about this year. Now, this year is different. The other years we've been asking people to pay an entrance fee. This year we're saying, just go onto our website, register for free, and come. Come and attend the expo. There's going to be a lot of conferences. Each day has a conference. Each day has breakaway sessions. Each day has an inspirational speaker. So if there's any one sector that anyone wanting to invest must look at, it is the MICE sector. It is the one that does events, because it's got the potential to attract the entire world. It's got the potential for revenue, and it's got the potential to employ.
And sell Uganda at the end of it.
And sell Uganda at the end of it.
Global stock markets are rallying after the US and China agreed to a 90-day pause in their trade war, slashing tariffs significantly. The US reduced tariffs on Chinese goods from 145% to 30%, while China cut its tariffs on US goods from 125% to 10%. This escalation has boosted investor confidence, leading to surges in global markets, oil prices, and the US dollar. Let's come back home. Quality Chemicals Industries Limited has demonstrated robust financial performance from the fiscal year 2025, marking its first full year post-divestment by major shareholder CIPLA. The company achieved a revenue of 267.1 billion Uganda shillings, slightly surpassing the previous year's 265.3 billion. Notably, Quality Chemicals Limited now reported a significant improvement in its gross profit margin, rising from 33% to 40.6%, attributed to a strategic shift towards higher margin antiretroviral treatments, which now constitute 76.3% of total sales. Despite a 14.8% increase in general and administrative expenses, the company maintained strong profitability with record profit before tax of 58.4 billion Uganda shillings and excludes the 3.5 billion recovery from the government of Zambia. These results underscore Quality Chemicals Limited resilience and strategic focus on high-demand therapeutic areas, positioning it its continued growth in East Africa's pharmaceutical sector. This week on our CEO edition, we talk sustainable energy. We delve into reducing emissions and providing jobs to hundreds. We chat with Rose Twiney, the Chief Executive Officer of Ecoss Uganda.
The EcoStove technology is a stove that was invented in 2009, prototyping 2010-11. This is a stove that utilizes volcanic rocks, and these rocks are from Kisoro and from Kabale, the entire Rift Valley. And to make it very reusable or renewable energy, the stove has been embedded with other technologies. For example, we have in a blower, we have in a heat regulator, and the insulation itself that has been done within the fire chamber makes it a unique technology. So the stove cannot be complete without the solar component. Now, for those to operate, we had to go further. Initially, we used to use electricity, but of course, at the time of inventing the technology, the electricity was very unreliable. You can use solar on it, you can use hydro on it, you can use a power bank on it, you can use a generator on it. So basically, any source of energy, and the primary purpose of these energies is to run the fans and to regulate the heat, and that's what makes it different. This is almost 15 years, close to 15 years since the Ecoss stove was invented. You could look at the stages we've been through. Of course, some of the reasons why the beginning was slow, like any other business. Innovation, uptake, people are like perception. Somebody's like, I'm used to my 3 stone. Remember this technology, you don't see open fire. The fire is enclosed, the stones are enclosed. This is a stove embedded with efficiency. The technology itself, with a fan or a blower, it has a heat regulator as good as a gas, it blows. At the same time, it's very clean. Why would it be a choice or an option for anybody who wants to cook clean? But also, when you look at the fact that the firewood and charcoal is very dirty, it's now become very expensive, but it's also degrading our environment. So a technology that we're giving you using rocks is something that not only saves the environment for the future generation, but it also saves you a lot of money, millions of money. A bag of charcoal today is between 80 and 100,000, and a bag does not last up to 4 weeks. Now you look at that, you do your numbers. At 80,000 times 12 months, how much is that? Yet when you compare with the technology that we're providing of 2-year reusable rocks, that's a cost that you cannot beat. So really, us to reach far, us to sensitize people, us to educate the public about the alternative that is available, that is sustainable, but is also affordable, is something that we are working hard on. We have decided to set up a technical, because for the last 10 years, we've trained close to 270 young men and women who have come through our hands from all departments that have worked with us, and some of them have become our distributors, some of them are running our hubs. But when you look at this, we are looking at the fact that how far can we go with this technology? How much can we get Ugandans to embrace this? The only way to do this is to make sure that it's closer to them. So for us to do that, we are setting up a technical school. One, we are creating awareness through our partners who have trained, who understand the technology, to put it together, to put it apart. And so once someone has been trained, like these guys, you have trained, you know how to put the stuff together, you can become our hub, you can repair and maintain wherever we are, than to find us in our 1 or 2 hubs that we have. So we are looking at setting up the technical. We've already set it up. We set it up, but it wasn't official. But now we are looking at making it very official, where we are intentionally training young people so they can represent us in different parts of Uganda with the same technology. Who can repair, who can service, who can maintain, who can install, who can train the users on how to use the technology, because user gap is also an issue. Expertism is also an issue. So the technical school will help us to reach the last mile and educate more people in all the corners of Uganda. And when you look at the different sizes that we provide, we are saying, if you are one person in a home, we have a solution for a single burner. If you have a big family, we have a double burner. Somebody has a clan, we have a triple burner. If somebody wants to barbecue or street roasting or chapati or Rolex on the street, we have those ones. Then we do the institution ones. We build in people's home. So in other words, we have come out to meet everybody at their point of need. We can customize the Ecoss stove according to your desires. This is what the technology means, that we are willing to go all the way. And if you know it in your head, as long as it's fire, we will produce it. And this is why we say, as Ecoss stove, we supply or provide fire that does not have to choke you while you use it.
This week on Agriculture Now, we continue our conversation on fertilizer usage. Important to note, though, however, is the quality of these chemicals and how they are classified, how to identify international certified brands and the immediate options in case one is to use local solutions.
We have three major important coffee diseases: coffee leaf rust, coffee berry disease, and coffee red blister. If your coffee is free of those diseases and it is free of insect pests, there is a very, very ferocious insect pest called the black coffee twig borer. If it is not infecting or affecting your coffee and you have enough fertilizers, just know you will get a good crop and you get good yields. So that information, such kind of information, is what farmers are lacking. And for us, we are putting all our energies on that. Sensitizing farmers to protect their crop against disease, sensitizing farmers to protect their crop against insect pests, and make sure they have enough nutrients, they are out of weeds, weed-free, and the farmers will be good to go.
Now, I'm going to pick one of these, yeah, that I saw in the group.
Yes.
How are these fertilizers applied? Because this is just a small packet of a fertilizer called Venom.
Yes.
How are they applied into the soil?
This one, we call it, it's a foliar fertilizer, and foliar means we spray it on the leaves. We spray it on the leaves.
This is not locally manufactured, right?
This is not locally manufactured. We import it from Norway. It is approved for use in organic food production systems, listed by Ecoss Transitional, listed by Organic Materials Review Institute, and inspected by Ecoss Transitional. Now, this you see, you think it is small, but this 1 kilo can mix 100 jerrycans of water. It can mix 100 jerrycans of water.
100 jerrycans of water. What is that in terms of acreage?
This can spray.
How much land can it?
This can spray like 5 acres. They can spray like 5 acres. For example, if they told you to use 10 mils in 20 liters of water, assuming you are fighting a certain insect pest, and they tell you to use 10 mils in 20 liters of water, by error or lack of information, you use 6 mils. It means that some insects will die, others will not die. Those which don't die will develop what we call cross resistance. If they reproduce, they will not be killed by any other insecticide that is available in the market, because they have been exposed before. So the problem is wrong use.
This week on Take Now, we pose the question: is it true that Uganda is the largest builder of electric vehicles in Africa? To find out the answers, we were given a rare invitation to Chira Motors Corporation. So thank you very much for having us here.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Where are we starting? What is happening here?
Right now, we are at the Chira vehicle plant located in the Ginger Industry and Business Park. Right now, we are in the body shop, where we undertake the manufacturing of the bus frames, which of course later we dress to make the buses. Yes.
And I know that we are also ranked one of the best in Africa.
Yes.
So where are we now? What are we doing?
Right now,
report card.
Chira Motors Corporation owns the plant, the Chira vehicle plant, with a capacity of production of about 2,500 vehicles per annum, and is capable of being increased to 5,000 vehicles per annum. We have a staff base of over 330 employees, and we have produced over now 40 vehicles here.
What is your latest project in Chira Motors Corporation?
Yes.
That we hope will, put us on the map, or will help us to scale to levels that we want.
So Chira Motors Corporation has several projects ongoing right now, electric vehicle projects. One is the Kayola EVS project, which is focusing on production of intercity, urban transport means with the potential for, of course, deployment on intercity routes. The Kayola EVS project focuses on electric buses with the capacities from around 23 passengers to 90 passengers, and with the range of around 100 to 300 kilometers. We are now, of course, deploying some of these buses in our venture, which is another initiative we are undertaking, the eBus Express. The eBus Express is a transport and logistics venture which is focused on, of course, providing clean, efficient, reliable electric mobility for the urban cities. Of course, right now we are working on a 13-meter electric coach with a range of about 500 kilometers, but with the potential to reach a capacity of 5,000 vehicles per annum. Right now we don't have that kind of demand in Uganda, so we can meet the demand of Uganda and even our neighbors. That's why, of course, in our earlier discussion, I told you that now we have inquiries and some people with almost actual orders from Tanzania, where they need buses to run on their bus rapid transport. But of course, if you look at the demand in Uganda, we are serving some institutions already. We have private customers around 40, but already we are working on another group of 10 and 20. So we are looking in that category. So at the Kira Vehicle plant, we have a machine shop. You can look at it as a line, so that does the primary process of materials. We have a chassis line where you do the axles and other integration. We have the welding line where we actually do the actual welding in our background. We have a paint shop, and all these, if you put them together, they can give you a capacity of about 2,500 vehicles per annum. The Kira Vehicle plant now has a dedicated power line to support its power needs. We have a dedicated utility line for water to support our water needs. We have over 330 employees right now to support the production directly or indirectly, and we hope to actually to recruit in the near future.
In most of our cities or towns, we don't have these charging stations. We can boast of having so much power. What is the preparation there to make sure that it's going to be sustainable? You don't produce body buses that are going to, at some point, be packed with no battery power.
Okay. We hope that we shall be pathfinders or leaders, but we shall work with also partners. So far we've installed some critical charging infrastructure to support the eBus Express in Uganda town. We have charging infrastructure in Kampala. We are setting up charging infrastructure in NTV. We also hope to set up charging infrastructure across in Makerere, because they also are our clients, and so on. So we are looking at around 260 fast chargers deployed. Depending on the kind of investment somebody has or the kind of money they are willing to invest in a charging infrastructure, they can actually take the small scale 60 kilowatts or the 360 kilowatts charger. So
you have a lot of brilliant guys out there who can build
we have
the things that you need to use in a bus.
Yeah, we have a lot of things which Ugandans can do. We have a localization strategy. For example, Ugandans can start investing in glass. Surprisingly, we don't have a local manufacturing plant for glass for the vehicle. Ugandans can invest in seats, making seats. We don't have a local manufacturing plant for seats. Ugandans can invest in electronics, development of electronics. We don't have really that capacity. We have not yet developed that capacity for developing the electronics. Things like the wire harnesses and so on. Talk about tires. We can, someone can start investing in making tires. Talk about the floor boards, the boards which are used in the interior of the vehicle before you put the seats and the carpets. All those Ugandans can actually invest in this. So there are a lot of parts, and we think that if we invest in those areas, we can reach 65% in the next decade.
What would you tell the policymakers right now?
Thank you very much. One, we need to invest in now scaling up production of Kira Motors Corporation. Like I've said, we have a capacity of production of 2,500, but we need inputs. So government should look into, supporting so that we can actually scale up the production of this plant to full capacity. We also have the expansion of the plant, because this plant has been built or set up with a potential capacity of 5,000 vehicles per annum. So we need now to invest in the expansion of this plant. But we also need to invest in the charging infrastructure to support, for example, the eBus Express, but also people who intend to adopt electric vehicles. Government also needs to put in place incentives to allow early adopters of electric vehicles. Incentives like exemption from VAT or even import duties for requirements or for inputs of production of electric cars. So this is the welding line. So typically here at this station, they are doing a whole host of activities, welding small brackets onto the vehicle, doing final welding, grinding. Yeah. Yeah. So from there, so we have cranes which move it across lines, and then it enters what we call the merging station over there. The merging station puts the vehicle together, the different parts, and then here it rolls through, undergoes a cocktail of activities to dress it up, to weld, to put steel plates, you know, and all kinds of full welding until the vehicle is in a state. Yeah. The drawings. Yeah. So these are the drawings. So of course, all the stations, all the workstations here, we have over 143 now workstations, have specific drawings. So these ones really are for guiding the works which are ongoing. So showing, you know, the details, dimensions, and so on. So we have machines which cover this. Yeah, though sometimes when we are working on new model, we import the parts, the first part. Yeah. So this line is U line. The vehicle goes over there like that and comes out there. So here, now here, of course, you see the vehicle. We've put doors onto the vehicle. Yeah, sure. Yeah. We've done most of the welding works. So they are doing final fittings, doors, and other accessories before it goes for paint. Yeah. So from here, the vehicle goes on for the paint job, which I would request you to.
This is special steel.
Yeah. So this is aluminium. Yeah, this is aluminium for the doors, but the inside steel is the special steel for the automotive. Yeah, this is aluminium to make it light, because the doors have to be light for easy opening, and also the entire vehicle has to be light because it's an electric vehicle. Yeah. So this is the station before the next station we've just seen, before we start putting the doors and so on.
How long does it take for a complete unit to be done?
So typically between 14 to 21 days. So our vehicles use air suspensions. So you can see these are air bellows for the air suspension. Yeah, air suspension. So they don't have, for example, these ones don't have leaf springs. Oh, yeah. They are not very comfortable, leaf springs. Yeah. So the air suspension, it's really electronically controlled. Yeah, yeah. So it gives you that comfort, which is there. Yeah.
East African equities 20 share index held steady, inching up to 100 from 99 points, reflecting a relatively calm trading session across the region's bounces. Tanzania's financial heavyweight, the CRDB Bank and NMB Bank, maintained stable prices with modest turnover, while Tanzania Breweries and TCC led in market capitalization. Now, over in Uganda, Airtel Uganda and MTN Uganda dominated in value through trading volume remained subdued. Meanwhile, Kenya's Safaricom saw strong activity, trading over 9.9 million shares, closing at 18.50 million Kenya shillings, signaling continued investor confidence in the telecom sector. That's it for Business Now. Remember, the Absa Joga campaign is still on, and you can grow your business, get a loan for your car, as well as school fees. Loans of up to 200, 300, and 600 million shillings. Look for your Absa branch and grow your business or get your favorite asset. This is Business Now. Next week, we'll delve more into insights into the global issues affecting business and finance.